Hello and welcome to the Mirrored Muse podcast, a sanctuary for the soul and a spark for the revolutionary spirit, where our truth is always reflected, our radiance remembered, and our spirit set free. I'm your host, Whitney Amber, and together we'll journey into the depths of what it means to awaken, embody, and expand as the muse of our own life. Through soulful storytelling, raw reflections, guided practices, and revolutionary conversations, this podcast is here to truly meet you in your own becoming. So let's take a deep breath, soften our edges. It's time to step into the mirror. This is your invitation to rise. Welcome back, love, to another episode of the Mirrored Muse podcast. I'm so honored to share time with you today, and I just want to let you know that yes, this episode is a bit delayed because last night when I was prepping for the scheduled episode and content, I received a very clear, intuitive prompt to just backlog what was scheduled and share what actually dropped in as we just wrapped up with the new moon in Virgo / partial solar eclipse, and today we enter into the fall equinox. And let me tell you, so much love, you guys, so much love and just so much warmth in my chest and heart space, for real. So, what a special, cozy, feminine cocoon I've felt during this time, as I just received my moon cycle on Friday with all of this astrology happening. And so I just want to share some special insights and journaled reflections that dropped in last night in this week's revised episode I'm going to call When Love Evolves. Love is rebuilding itself. Under the Virgo new moon and partial solar eclipse, we are standing on a freshly cleared foundation, one that remembers September 2006, which was the last time the sky sang this exact chord. Think of it as a 19-year heartbeat. Whatever themes of commitment, devotion, or first big love stirred back then may now feel complete, composted into wisdom. The eclipse doesn't simply close doors, it prepares for soil for what only new love can grow. Virgo, an earth sign ruled by Mercury, is the great architect of daily devotion. She's asking the collective to design love that can actually live in our calendars and expand our conversations, our capacity. A love that shows up in how we listen, share space, and care for the people and planet that hold us. Maybe you're noticing relationship shifts as well. Some gracefully exiting, others just beginning to bloom. These aren't random breakups or breaking points. They're structural realignments, so love can hold more light, more truth, more room for everyone. When these occur in our lives, this does not at all deem the love within the friendship or relationship void, not authentic, or even present at all. No. The love is just evolving into exactly what it is meant to be, into more alignment. Think of it as a rose bush. Most roses are picked and cut off from the rest of the bush to bring beauty in service of someone's home or celebration or comfort. It's an actual symbol of love. And this happens at its most mature point, right? When the rose is mature. That's when we can appreciate its love and beauty and evolution in the transition of moving wherever it's going to be celebrated. And this is really the whole purpose of the rose. So just because the single rose is separated from who it grew with doesn't mean it is without the nutrients of the rose bush, right? Like the rose bush here symbolizing those relationships maybe exiting and evolving in your life. It actually carries those lessons and love into its very own authenticity, alignment, and purpose forward. How beautiful is that? Sometimes the most loving thing we can do is release others and ourselves to evolve and rise. This goes for friendships and romantic relationships, all the ships, because it's not about the person, it's about alignment for both individuals. So, today, instead of clinging to the walls of old stories, we might ask, what kind of love do we want the next 19 years to be built on? May we pour new foundations, love as daily practice, love as collective care, love expansive enough to evolve with us. So, let's walk into this week together and see what new foundations love is ready to build in our relationships, our art, work, and the quiet corners of just our daily lives. And first, I want to ground our conversation in the cosmos and point out what's happened and actively happening astrologically. So, as we mentioned, we had the Virgo new moon that we just wrapped up yesterday. This signifies a new cycle in service, structure, and systems. And also with that Virgo new moon was the partial solar eclipse, signifying resets and plot twists tied to destiny. This also comes with this 19-year cycle and or echo, tied with this eclipse. And this mirrors one back all the way to September 2006, which is mirroring to us what love stories or beliefs began for you around that time. And as I sat with this last night, I think I was reading through, I really, really love two main sources for astrology, which is Spirit Daughter and The Cosmic Latte. If you guys aren't following them on Instagram, I highly, highly recommend those. And so I think between one of them, it kind of presented this whole theme and idea of what love stories or beliefs began back in September 2006. And oh my God, I had this whole moment and realization because I know for me, this was about the exact time I met my first husband. And this whole 19-year journey for me included releasing that first marriage and lots of other relationships, as well as all things love as it pertains to external validation, societal conditioning, and inherited familial patterns. And now arriving at a more wholehearted, literally wholehearted, internally sourced knowing kind of love at its purest essence. So now my vision and standards for love have evolved immensely. And the wisdom that now exists in the soul of my heart, the foundation of my heart, creates an expanded capacity to receive and sustain these new friendships and relationships. Not one time while navigating these years has love not been present. No, it has just been evolving. And some types of love cannot necessarily evolve with us all the time. They must evolve without us and into their own alignment. So this new cycle literally feels like a whole new romance read being written for my love life. Not just a new chapter anymore in the same book. No. Brand new book, brand new chapter, brand new characters. It feels warm, it feels wise, it feels safe, it feels grounded. It feels steadying and stirring simultaneously. It feels sovereign. Can you feel this shift? Also, we have, Virgo is the earth architect. It rules rituals, routines, devotion in the everyday. And the new moon asks for planting intentions. Now, with it being tied to the eclipse season, intentions kind of take their own intention and their own path. But with this specific eclipse being in Virgo as the earth architect, it's uprooting what no longer supports our blueprint of love. Hence, the evolution and exiting of these relationships and even environments, etc. So there is this loving release theme. And what that has kind of looked like in my own life is I've had a couple significant relationships, one being a friendship of over 9 years, and then, a beautiful soul that I met along my travels. I've had to send loving closure and trust my own intuition on that decision and knowing that all parties are evolving into love, beauty, and alignment with this decision. I've also had, oh my gosh, some really vulnerable and intimate conversations with different family members and, some of my grandparents regarding their marriages and experiences with love that closely, of course, mirror my first marriage and my whole belief system around love. Because for the most part, that is inherited and also influenced by the external messaging, right, of our environments and society. And in these conversations, it felt like such a full body, full circle moment. I even felt in my body during these conversations the closure of a cycle, almost like a graduation from the old and simultaneously an invitation into this new way of loving and being loved. And to bottle up what that feels like and the beauty that I see with that, that's just a little taste of what this season is kind of serving me right now. And some love endings are simply shifts in a season. They're not failures. So to paint it clearly, it's kind of like, the house isn't gone. It just needs new flooring and framing. This is what brings sustainability, right? And then last but not least, today we enter into Libra season and the fall equinox. So Libra, the zodiac sign of Libra, literally governs relationships. And we must realize that the real work begins within. So the season is asking us to master our own energy first. When we are grounded in our own peace, we can see our relationships clearly. We can begin to feel the invisible thread that connects us to everyone in our lives. So is it just me, or can you too see the perfect divine timing of all of this? When society is trying to base love on statistics that, of course, we all know the divorce rate in our country because it's everywhere and everyone's talking about it and framing this conversation of love in this way. And these statistics that quote unquote prove that love is less in the world and in our relationships than what has been in the past. No, I'm not buying into that. I'm here to tell you and assure you, we're not falling out of love. We're falling into deeper truth. And deeper truth is a requirement and prerequisite for feeling loved on a whole new level, individually, in partnership, and collectively. So yes, right now that may look like something falling apart, but again, let's reframe that. Things have to fall away in order to come back together in a more aligned, authentic, beautiful, loving way. But once we step into this deeper truth, immediately following that comes the game-changing level up in love, if we're open and receptive to it. And this type of love takes serious soul to sustain. So it's this redefining moment of love as a foundation. Now, foundations are quieter than fireworks, but they hold the whole damn house, guys, and make evolution and expansion not only a possibility, but sustainable. And when love becomes a foundation, it is incorporated into everything we do, speak. It's how we move, and it ripples out into those we interact with, attracting back to us the very love we are putting out into the world. So by spiritual law, everything around us begins to shift in this new loving way once love becomes the very foundation of our lives. And I feel this so deeply. There is a collective longing for this new evolution of love. Love that is loyal, yet liberating, life-giving, lively, limitless, and luminous. It's both and, but most of all, it's authentic, it's aligned, and it grows, evolves with us. It's balanced. And I'm just saying, the zodiac sign of Libra, which is, we just entered today into Libra season, the sign for Libra is literally the scales. Just want to toss that out there. So, in the spirit of authenticity and alignment, I invite you to consider, what are the old foundations of love that no longer serve us? Maybe it's performative love. Maybe it's sacrifice, perfectionism, transactional care, survival, attachment, painting an image that matches what society tells us is love, but in truth lacks soul. There's no spark. It lacks sensitivity, sensuality. It lacks vulnerability. Maybe consider, what new love foundations look like instead. It could be love as a practice, not just a feeling. And love becomes a practice when we stop treating it like a prize. Maybe this new love foundation looks like love as community, not just, partnership or romantic partnership. Maybe it's love as truth-telling, not people-pleasing. Love as self-trust, not self-abandonment. That was a big one for me. Love as the thing I pour into myself, not just into others. Maybe it looks like love as the way, I choose to look at others, knowing they are allowed to have bad, sad, wonky, off days just like me. Maybe it looks like love as, how I prepare meals for myself, family, and friends. Meals are nourishing. Love should also be nourishing in our lives as well, not depleting. And maybe it's love as the very thing staring back at me when I look in the mirror. Love is architecture, what are you building? What do you want to build? Maybe it's love as soil. What needs to be tilled? What needs to be planted? Love as a mirror. What patterns are asking to be rewritten? You don't have to know the whole plan, just the next seed to plant. So maybe write it, bury it, water it, and watch love grow in places you didn't expect. Now, as this whole conversation is starting to come to a close, I do want to offer just a simple practice that I actually did last night. Write down one new belief you want to root your love life in. Maybe the prompt could be, love for me now looks like, and insert your thoughts. Choose a daily act to support it. Maybe one small ritual of love. Examples could be texting someone a loving truth, journaling a new vision of love, preparing tea with intention, taking a walk with no headphones, or, my personal fave, okay, I'll put myself on the spot, dancing slow and sensually in the mirror, showing love for your own beautiful body. Now, when you do these practices, I do encourage you to tag us at the Mirrored Muse on Instagram, and we can share your story and spread. When we share our stories, we can spread the love, which ripples out into the lives of others and gets, wheels turning that maybe otherwise wouldn't. I don't know. Let's see what could happen with this love ripple. And as a final closing invitation, if you will, my heart's desire with this conversation is to not just plant these seeds of love and allow ourselves to welcome in this new, beautiful, fulfilling, aligned, authentic love. But also, may the endings you've quietly outgrown release you too with grace. May the foundations you lay now be strong enough to hold joy, truth, and uncontainable beauty, sensuality. May love not be something you chase, but something you design, anchor, and embody. May you let love evolve and let it surprise you this time. During this season, may you know, when love evolves, the heart learns the art of staying open while letting go and simply delights in the unfolding of it all. We can delight in this unfolding of it all when we release control and know that all the universal forces and our angels, team of light, God, whomever that is for you, are working overtime so that we may have our wildest dreams. Friends, if this episode stirred something in you, share it with someone you're maybe rebuilding love with or for. And come connect with us over at the Mirrored Muse on Instagram. I'd love to hear what seeds you're planting this week.
Well, that was fun. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in, for trusting me with your time, and for joining this moment, this mirror, this movement of remembering. If something in today's conversation lit a spark, I'd be so jazzed and honored if you'd pass it on by leaving a review, sending it to a friend, or bringing it into your own conversations. For now, you can connect with more inspo, reflections, resources, and our beautiful community on Instagram at The Mirrored Muse. Until next time, stay wild, stay soft, and remember, you are the muse.